Oh boy, I'm so excited for this one because I'm a huge fan. He's one of the biggest names in comedy. He's known for his relatable observations on everything from food to family life. We're talking about Jim Gaffigan, and he's bringing his latest tour to Boise. So we're going to catch up with him right now ahead of the show. Jim, hello.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, we are so excited to have you. Okay, so this isn't your first time though coming to Boise, right? This is a return. Are you excited to come back to Idaho?
I always have a good time in Boise. Boise has a unique Basque heritage. There's a lot of
Yes.
Basque settlers in the Boise area, but I love everything about Boise. I love everything about Idaho. I eat way too many potatoes, so I'm your key demo.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. Yes, and I mean potatoes. I'm glad you mentioned it, right? Because food is
Yeah.
something that you love to chat about. In addition to family life, I have to say,
Yeah.
Jim, and I'm sure you're probably really tired of this, but it makes me giggle every time. You've completely ruined my love of hot pockets. Um,
That's,
would you be willing to do your hot pocket?
I would, but I'd have to kill you.
Oh no,
No.
please don't.
The funny thing is like I've been doing stand-up for so long, and it is one of those things where, I mean, I'm so excited to be back in Boise on June 11th. And, every time you come through, you have a new hour of material, and, I do all these specials, but it is, I'm so grateful that like some material really resonates. And, the Hot Pocket thing is it's a blessing and a curse. I
Yes.
remember being in Boise and walking down the street and some drunk guy yelling Hot Pockets.
I'm
And
sorry.
no, it's quite all right, but like that's not the only time that's ever happened. It
Yes.
is sometimes people will say Hot Pockets to me kind of like it is a greeting. They'll be like Hot Pocket, and I'll be like, I guess hello to you too. But it's all
Okay.
good.
So this tour is Everything is Wonderful.
Right.
Explain why you chose that title, because Jim, in my opinion, things are, kind of the opposite of wonderful right now, not only
Because
locally but globally.
that is the sarcasm of it, right?
Exactly.
Is that it's like, is everything wonderful? Probably not. But also, people that come to my shows are looking for a break from the tension of the everyday life. And there is something. I have 5 kids, so I complained about my kids, and there is something about, in some ways, it's kind of like a community support meeting for people that have children, and so
Thank you
it's
for that,
some
by
of
the way.
it. That's what these shows are about. It's just kind of like, okay, maybe his life is worse than mine. I feel a little bit better going back into it, but
No,
it's
and
all
that's what I think makes you so endearing, Jim, is that you're just so relatable on so many levels. Like, you'd mentioned you got 5 kids. I know anyone who's a big fan of yours knows that you really honor family life. Like that is first and foremost the most important thing to you, even above your career. You've said that multiple times,
yeah.
to the public, and that is so incredibly lovable
Oh, well,
about
thanks.
you.
I
Yeah.
would I would point out I'm not good at it. I mean, anyone who has teenagers, there comes a point where you're like, I gave it all my all, but like, you don't have control over some of these
No,
factors here, and you
no.
have to, it keeps you humble,
Yes,
you
it
know.
does. Jim, I have a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old who's getting ready to graduate this coming year and embark on her own independence. So
Yeah.
I need your humor at the moment, very, very, very much.
Yeah, it's humor, and also, if I might suggest, alcohol. And I know
Oh,
there's
okay.
some people that are like, there's some Mormons, they're like, I can't do the alcohol, and I'm like, then, I would do some food,
I would
you
do
know.
some food. Yes, food is
Yeah,
also a therapy as well
yeah,
sometimes, right? For some. Okay.
yes.
And you had mentioned, gosh, Jim, you've done so much, right? Like you've had a show, you do all these specials, you've done so many tours. You've been at this for a very long time. What makes this tour different, though? What are you excited about this particular set?
You know, it's something about stand-up, the process is so self-assignment motivated. It's not as if anyone's saying, hey, we need a new hour of material where you complain about teenagers for half an hour. And there's something kind of therapeutic, selfishly for me in doing it, but it's the conversation that is really enjoyable, and I think it's how things evolve and change. I have been touring for a long time, but some of it is checking in with an old friend. It's some of those friends we've had for a long time. It's not like you don't value having the same conversation, but like you guys know each other. That's the benefit that I have with people that come to my shows, is they know the type of comedy I do, and they also know that that it's going to be of a certain caliber, so that I'm not going to waste their night, because some of it is, obviously they're spending money, but I think for a busy parent, it's this is my night out. It better be worth my night out.
No, it is definitely the much needed night out. And I mean, you're also known for your clean humor as well too. Like you are able to connect and relate to everybody and get those visceral belly laughs without having to overextend and go too far in one direction, which is another thing that I love about you. Really quick, but before we wrap our conversation here, Jim, I do want to talk a little bit about your origin here, really fast, for those who may not be as familiar with you. So, I mean, and please correct me if I'm wrong as I describe the origin of Jim Gaffigan, but
yes. Okay.
Midwest guy, big family. You played football at Purdue, right? You studied finance, of all things.
Yes.
You're like the poster child of America, if you will. And then you have this pivot into performance, but I hear you've always wanted to perform. So how did you have this, really pretty good pedigree, and then go into a completely different direction, into comedy? Help inspire some people to really live their passion.
I mean, you really nailed it. It really comes down to, I did not come from a background that would lead someone to be a stand-up. And some of it was really kind of taking the risk of looking like a fool for a couple years. And so that's something where I'm really grateful that I did have the gumption to kind of go for it, because I didn't know anyone in the entertainment world. And, in Idaho, it's like one of my friends, Ryan Hamilton's from Idaho, and he comes from a smaller town than me. So like there is something about kind of people finding their own path, whether it's stand up or whatever. And as a parent, I'm trying to instill that in my children, that you have to just kind of have a certain amount of grit to kind of suffer through some of the awkwardness, but it is worth it. I mean, I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to do what I enjoy, but and I don't take it for granted. It's people have an expectation of a certain level of quality when they come to a show, so I want to make sure that I meet that, and also, as I mentioned, value their time. So I don't know. I think it's that's pretty much close to my journey. I'm the beneficiary of good luck, but I think I'm also somebody that works really hard, and hard work always kind of puts you in a better position to succeed, I guess.
Yes, it most certainly does. Your fruit comes from the hard work. Jim, thank you so much. We want to remind everybody, because you're going to be in town here this week, June 11th, and you're going to be at Boise State. So, is there anything else you want to add to that? How do people follow you on your tour as well as you go to other locations?
Yeah, you can follow me, jimgaffigan.com. If there are bourbon drinkers out there, I have Father Time Bourbon, fathertime-bourbon.com. But, I'm always kind of touring around, and, go Boise State. I like the blue carpet. You got to do it.
That's right. The Smurf turf, my friend, the Smurf turf. Jim, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate your time. And everyone, make sure you check out Jim Gaffigan.
Thanks so much.